The college basketball experience, NC State Wolfpack 2022-23 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today.
What's up, everybody? This is Cameron Krog from Loyola Chicago Ramblers, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride. Shout out to the Broad Stop. Thank you, guys.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience, NC State Wolfpack 2022-23 season preview episode. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink, and I don't have stress, and I'm healthy.
College basketball. Look, I know we're diving into college football. Hope you subscribe to the college football experience. NC State, a lot of hype around the program there, and that should be a fun watch as the season prolongs. But this is the college basketball experience, and just about a couple weeks ago, we started doing team previews for as many teams as we can fit in before the season tips on November 7th. Pretty much done with all the ACC. If you're listening to this and maybe you're not a Wolfpack fan, but you want to know what's going on with the Wolfpack, maybe you're a Wake Forest fan, maybe you're a Duke fan or a North Carolina fan, go check out those previews if you're listening to this. It is a gigantic year in Raleigh. And I mean, I was a little bit surprised, but I do think we need to queue up a little bit of this action.
Check that door for heat, Tim.
Check that door for heat, Kevin, because the seat is hot for Kevin Keatts. You look at, this guy's career. I mean, I like Kevin Keatts. I'm rooting for him to succeed this year. I don't know what State fans feel about. I feel like they're all over the place. I've talked to some that say, no, we should have got rid of him last year. What happened to this program? What happened to the days of Jimmy Valvano and Tom Gugliotta and Rodney Monroe and Chris Corchiani? But I don't know. I think last year was a tough season for him, but in general, I think give Keatts this year. We'll see what happens. Keatts played at Ferrum back in the early 90s as a guard. Yeah, he's coached at UNC Wilmington, had that great run in the tournament prior to NC State, was an assistant at Louisville. I believe that was the Patino era. So yeah, he was a Patino assistant. Prior to that, he was at the Marshall Thundering Herd and Hargrave Military Academy and Southwestern Michigan. Overall, including all those stops, he's 162 and 96. Winless in the NCAA tournament, even though I know the UNC Wilmington came pretty close one year. Did win 3 championships in the CAA, but it is a gigantic year for him because when you consider they're giving him a long leash in Raleigh. This is going to be year 6. So 5 years into it now, he is, this is year 6 and he's just 90 and 68 winning record, but I think you would want to have a little more success. He's only made the NCAA tournament once in his tenure, and that was his first season there as they lost in the first round, 21-12 season. I think, and this is what I think NC State fans that I've talked to that wanted him gone, they do have a fair point. You could argue that was the best season. 21-12, 11-7 in the ACC in his first season. His second season, 24-12. That was actually his best record. But 9-9 within the ACC. So his best season within the ACC was his first year. They made the NIT. They won a couple games in the NIT. Then the 2019-20 season, the COVID season, essentially, where COVID ruined our March Madness, which I will still have issues with whoever had that bat soup, because I cannot believe we didn't get a March Madness that year, because that was going to be very interesting with Dayton and San Diego State among the top 5 teams in the nation. But that season they were 20-12, and you could look at that as saying, man, they might have got in that year. They were 10-10 in the ACC. And unfortunately, that's a bad break. That's a very bad break, because if they would have got in, who knows? They could win a couple games. He might not even be on the hot seat right now. But then came 2021. He was just 14-11. They finished 9th in the ACC. They were 9-8. They made the NIT. Still not an awful season. But then last year, 11-21. 4-16 in the ACC, 15th in the conference. That is dead last. To be fair, Manny Bates got out for the season, I believe, if memory serves me correct, the week leading up to the season. That was like arguably their best player coming into the season. A lot of hype around him. So that was a tough blow. And that's another thing. They've had the injury bug, I feel like, for the past couple of years, really. Maybe that's what helped him get another year. I personally thought he was going to get fired last year, but I'm glad to see it, because I do think he seems like I think he's a solid coach. And I also think like he's just had a tough break or two, whether it was COVID, whether it was the injuries. So we'll see. Cause I do think, unfortunately, this is college basketball in 2022. You're going to have to patch together a team. You got to quickly patch together a team, or I do think you will be jobless after this year. We're going to talk about it. We're going to hop into it. We're going to talk about what they lost, what they gained. But before we do that, we're also going to go on the schedule and go game by game on the schedule, because we do have that now, as opposed to some of those earlier previews. We did not have the schedule. But before we get to all that, I want to tell you folks out there that the NC State Wolfpack 2022-23 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the Elias Sports Bureau. Football fans, the NFL regular season is here. We're already kicking into week 2. And yeah, look, you got to place bets. You want to make sure you're betting. You want to make sure you're winning money. You want to make sure your fantasy team is kicking ass. Well, then you need the Elias Game Plan app, the ultimate sports betting and fantasy companion for the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL. It's got everything you need to give you a competitive advantage. Yes. And it is the app, the company in general is the most trusted name in sports. Yes. The Elias Sports Bureau, the official statisticians of U.S. pro sports leagues, including the National Football League. So what are you doing, folks? NFL season's here. Don't wait. Download the Elias Game Plan app today. That's ELIAS. And right now we have a special offer for you. When you do subscribe, get a 14-day free trial off of a monthly subscription plan, but only if you use the promo code SGPN. Once again, find the Elias Game Plan app in the App Store or Google Play Store today and use the promo code SGPN. SGPN. We're also brought to you by Fubo TV. If you watch football, you need Fubo TV. Fubo TV gives you complete coverage of college and pro football with NFL Red Zone and games in 4K at no extra charge. There's over 100 channels of live sports entertainment for a fraction of the price of cable. You can watch it on all your devices. You can never miss a game or an episode of your favorite shows with the included cloud-based DVR. Plus, there's no contract, there's no commitment, and you can cancel at any time. Right now, you can try Fubo TV for free for 7 days and get 15% off your first month. Just go to FuboTV.com/SGP. Once again, that is FuboTV.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by No House Advantage. Yes, No House Advantage is changing the game by offering the most dynamic fantasy sports platform available today. They got a pick'em contest you can play in against other people, where you can win $250,000 in cash. Yes, download the app, choose a contest, select your player props, earn points for corrected picks, and climb up the leaderboard for your shot to win big money every single day. You can also test your skills versus the house and win up to 20 times your entry if you hit on your picks. Sign up now with the promo code SGPN at nohouseadvantage.com or download the app to get the first deposit match up to $25. All right. I know we're rattling off a lot of commercials. I feel like an insurance salesman right now, but anyway, I got to get us paid a couple more times. All right. A couple more times. But let's talk a little Wolfpack basketball. So last season, 11-21, 4-16 in the ACC, arguably your best player out for the season before the season ever starts. Absolutely brutal year for Wolfpack fans. Another thing is ATS, they were fucking terrible. 7-25 against the spread. That means you take the dog every single time. And what, you're hitting at 78%? Or the dog, or no, you take whoever NC State's playing is what I mean. Let's dive into what the problem was. All right. Because it stats are interesting. Stats can tell a tale. It almost makes you think. I look at these stats and I say, how are they that bad? Let's hop into it. Adjusted offense. They were 59th in the country. Wait, that's pretty good. Offensive rebounding. They were 103rd in the country. That's pretty good. Free throw shooting. They were 151st in the country, but that is still a what? That's better than half the teams. So, well, what the fuck was wrong? Wait, turnover rate. They were 11th in the nation at taking care of the ball. This is like mind boggling. Oh, I know what it was. Defensive rebounding. They were absolutely terrible. 298th. There's only 350 some teams in college basketball, people. But can defensive rebounding be that key? It's not only the defensive rebounding, it's also the defense that Kevin Keatts and the Wolfpack were playing. They were 246 in the nation. So they were terrible rebounding. They were terrible defensively. They were 192nd in pace, but I don't think pace dictates wins. You can certainly make the case in certain scenarios, but with NC State, I don't really feel like that was the case. NC State just couldn't play defense, and they couldn't defensive rebound. Offensive rebounding, they were actually solid, which is probably driving Kevin Keatts absolutely fucking crazy. Why can't we close out and limit the possessions of other teams? Because they couldn't. That's a mind-boggling. Most of these times when we were previewing all these teams, the stats will tell the tale. Like normally you do not see a team that was 7-25 be this good in other areas. So I guess that's encouraging for this season. The bad news is Manny Bates, who I referred to as perhaps their best player from a season. Well, coming into the season last year, he's gone. He went to Butler with Dad Mata, and I'm very excited about Butler. We'll get started on that one another day, but they lose him. They lose veteran guard Cam Hayes, who transfers to LSU. Ouch. Absolutely ouch. They also lost guard Thomas Allen to Ball State. I wouldn't panic at that, but then you had these two players graduate. Dereon Seaborn. That he was a beast. 17 points, 8 boards. Jarkel Hellems, 14 points, 5 boards. Gone. That's a lot of players gone. How fast can Kevin Keatts fix this? Now he went to the point. Live by the portal, you die by the portal. Well, he was dying by the portal, but he quickly adjusted and brought in. I'm actually very interested to see how all these players pan out. Jarkel Joyner from Ole Miss. If you listen to our DFS show, which we do, and by the way, folks, if you're listening to this, we handicap every single Division I college football and college basketball game on the College Football Experience and the College Basketball Experience. We've been doing this shit for over 5 years. Subscribe, tell a friend. We've never had a losing season. But Jarkel Joyner, if you listen to our DFS pod, because we also drop DFS pods, this is a guy I rostered a lot with the Ole Miss Rebels. 13 points, 3 assists a season ago, and I actually think he's even better than his stat projection. because he kind of gets everything for you. That's a great get at the guard spot. Now, how fast will they be able to get? I mean, I'll put it like this. They were pretty good at taking care of the ball last year. That could be an area of weakness considering all the new faces. They went out and also got DJ Burns. If you watch Winthrop basketball, you will know the name DJ Burns, who's their best player. 6'9", well, center, power forward, whatever you want to say. 15 points, 5 boards. That's a huge get. Absolutely huge get, especially considering they lost Manny Bates and Hellems. They also got forward Jack Clark. Hey, I remember Jack Clark. Used to play for the San Francisco Giants and St. Louis Cardinals, right? Used to hit dingers. Now this is a different Jack Clark, the 6'5" forward from Salle with the Explorers, 12 points and 6 rebounds there. How will he adapt to ACC play? Stepping up. Going from a mid-major to, but sometimes that really works out. It'll be interesting to see Jack Clark's transition. And then from Utah, 6'10" center Dusan Mahorcic. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that, but he averaged 6 points, 4 boards in Salt Lake City with the Utes. And I don't know. I mean, I would think he might be a starter on this team because of his height, because the ACC is pretty tough. Baycott's back at North Carolina, and UNC or Duke's recruiting class, unbelievable. Florida State's always a team with height. You're going to need some height in this conference. Perhaps he will be a starter. They did have one top 200 recruit, and I imagine that's another part of the struggles here is that with the uncertainty of Keatts' job, will recruits want to come into Raleigh? They got LJ Thomas, a 6'2" guard from Carborough, North Carolina. Maybe he can work himself out. I don't know if it will take a year. I don't know if he'll get a lot of burn, but pretty exciting to see all the faces leave and all these ones come in. And exciting as far as like, it's hard. Talking 4 or 5 years ago, we're doing these previews. It was like, okay, you can kind of envision what you see from the year before. It's hard now. You're saying, I don't know if Jack Clark could be able to play at an AC level. Dusan Mahorcic, is he going to be serviceable? And you're just bringing in a lot of other names. Joyner and Burns, I think, will work out. I know Winthrop, that's another one stepping up from a mid-major. It's going to be fascinating. Hopefully they won't get hit with the injury bug as big as the season before. But anyway, I'm going to project what their starting 5 will look like. And then we're going to talk what the schedule will be. But once again, folks, I got to get us paid. I want to tell you that we're brought to you by PromoGuy.us. PromoGuy is the best place to go if you're interested in plus EV betting strategies and making consistent profits from sports betting. And I got to say, we've been looking at their daily promo updates, and they are some of the most informative in the game. They don't simply tell you like what team is probable to win, but they'll more so tell you like where to get the best odds, how to track down and cash in big on constantly changing promotions. If you're not already using the mathematical models to help you with your picks, then you are missing out, people. Go to PromoGuy.us and check out their 100% track, transparent, and proven method for betting smarter. Once again, that's PromoGuy.us. You get consistency, and consistency gives you profit, baby. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper is the fastest growing fantasy platform today with millions of different players. You probably already have a fantasy league on there. I know I do. It is a game-changing product unlike anything else in the industry. And now you can win big on Sleeper by playing their brand new over/under game, which I hit on last weekend when we were in Vegas. But you don't need to be in Nevada just to play this. You can play this anywhere. Get the app. All right. It's really cool. You select 2 or more players based on their over or under on stat projections. They have this for college hoops too. When the season starts, it's really, I think, cutting edge. So on your mobile phone, join our listener group on Sleeper at sleeper.com/SGP, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's promo code SGP. Once again, sleeper.com/SGP. You'll get $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. We're also brought to you by Run Your Pool. Yes, Run Your Pool VIP is here. A brand new subscription service from Run Your Pool that helps you get an extra edge against the books, plus exclusive access to real money pools. I mean, right now, week 2 NFL, they're giving away $5,000 as they have a season long pool where they're giving away $100K Come on, get access to exclusive data to help your weekly game picks. And right now use the code SGPN VIP at runyourpool.com/VIP and get 50% off your first month of Run Your Pool VIP. That's code SGPN VIP at runyourpool.com/VIP. We're also brought to you by OddsTrader. OddsTrader is a place to compare odds from all the major sports books. You can also compare the different sign-up codes and promo codes from sportsbook to sportsbook to assure that you get the best deal possible. It also has a bet tracker to keep bettors organized. Like me, shit, you get me in November, December with college hoops, college football is going on, NFL, NBA, NHL. They got the World Cup going on this year. You add that in with like the occasional boxing or UFC, maybe the Grey Cup and the CFL. Shit, you're all over the place, betting everything. That's why OddsTrader is great. It organizes it for you. Go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. OddsTrader, the number one site for all your game day bets. All right, folks, we are back talking NC State. I'm projecting the starting five to look like this. Joyner at the 1. I'm assuming it's going to be Casey Marshall, the senior, the transfer, 7 points per game a season ago. He shot 35% from 3. I wonder if that becomes a bigger, like his minutes per game should go up. And I wonder if that can be a bigger factor in NC State's success this season. Perhaps the 3 ball. Then I think at the 3, you're going to see Terquavion Smith. That guy's a beast. 16 points, 37% from 3. I love like the guard play right there. You're saying, okay, I can buy in. And then I think you're going to see Dusan Mahorcic at the 5 spot and DJ Burns at the 4. So those transfers from Utah and Winthrop, Mahorcic, I would say, kind of a big unknown. I think their season could depend on perhaps, you know, how he plays in conference. LJ Thomas, Jack Clark, I think coming off the bench, they might have a couple other guys that I think could be all right role players, but I do expect that to be the starting 5 for the Wolfpack. Maybe you can tuck me into Clark somehow getting in the mix. What would be a season that gets Kevin Keatts not fired? Just a winning record in NCAA tournament. If he makes it to the NIT, is that enough? Maybe. Do they pull an upset against North Carolina or Duke? Will that help them? Let's get into it. Cause what's great about this now that we're this late in the, into September is I do have the whole schedule right here. November 7th, they take on Austin P. The Governors opening the season against the Governors. PNC Arena. I believe Nate James, the former Duke Blue Devil, is the head coach of Austin P. I think last year was his first year. I think they had a losing record if memory serves me correct, but I think he actually brought in a solid amount of talent to the Governors. We'll see if it can transition into anything as they get. And you know, he would love to win this one. Beaten State as a Duke guy. What shit? Give me the points just on that. Depending what that line is, but that should be a win for NC State. I think NC State will get it done. They got to start the season off hot. 1-0 they should be. Then Friday, November 11th, they get the Campbell Camels, and Campbell's actually not bad. They had a winning record a season ago. I think Kevin McGeehan is their coach. I mean, I think they should be able to handle the Fighting Camels, but I will say, I mean, Campbell, I feel like their basketball program, they keep it all right basketball program. So something to pay attention to there. I think they should be 2-0 there. Then they get the Florida International Airport. Yes. FIU. And these are all in Raleigh. FIU. I think they should be able to handle FIU. They haven't been great lately. Elon on November 19th. PNC Arena. I think that should be fine. They should that by the time November 23rd rolls around, they should be 4-0. Unfortunately for November 23rd, they're in the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis in the Bahamas, Paradise Island, taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. Oh, only the defending national champions. Hey, I'll say this though. Kansas lost some pieces. Still. Now, if you could find a way to win this game, Now you're talking. I expect them to lose this game. I think they'll be 4-1, and then they will get the winner or loser from Dayton or Wisconsin. And I think that is a winnable game. I think that's probably the most important game because I mean Kansas is gonna get theirs. I think beating Dayton or Wisconsin, potential to get some real key wins on the resume if you are a bubble team come late February, early March. And then they will have another game in the Bahamas too. We don't know against who. So those are huge. That right around Thanksgiving, all three of those matchups, absolutely huge. And I think could really be important for Kevin Keatts. They come back to Raleigh on the 29th. They take on William and Mary. William and Mary is not very good in the CAA. That should be a dub. They got their ACC opener is home to Pitt and Jeff Capel. I'm going to circle that as a must-win game. Jeff Capel's on the hot seat. Kevin Keatts is on the hot seat. That's why this game is fantastic. That game's a high pressure because someone's going to lose that, and I would say the seat's going to be a little hotter for losing that one. But it's in Raleigh. They should win this. I think they're the more talented team. So, if you're telling me right there you only have 2 losses, let's just say they go 1-2 in the battle for Atlantis. You know, you get Coppin State after that in the James Valvano Arena. That should be right there. What would that put them at? 4-1, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 8-2. Then they head to Coral Gables to take on Jimmy Larrañaga in Miami. I think Miami's going to be good. I think Miami's projected to be better than them, but that doesn't mean this is still a winnable game. Saturday, December 10th. Huge game for NC State. I lean Miami, but if they can steal that one and go to 9-2, and then they better watch out because they do get Furman, and Furman plays a good. They were 22-12 a season ago, if memory serves me correct. Bob Ritchie does a great job. They lost that heartbreaker in the SoCon championship game, if memory serves me correct. But those are some tricky games right there with Miami. So essentially in December, before Christmas, you're getting Pitt, Miami, and Furman. And then you have a couple other games in the Legends of Basketball Showcase going on. Well, no, just one game against Vanderbilt and Jerry Stackhouse. That's great. They get Nate James from Duke, and then they get Stackhouse from UNC. They play Vandy in Chicago on December 17th on a Saturday. I mean, they should beat Vanderbilt. I actually think, and then they get Louisville in PNC Arena. I think Louisville is a little bit ahead of them, but the fact it's in Raleigh, absolutely fantastic. So by Christmas, if they can only have 2 or 3 losses, I think you're sitting pretty good for a nice run. After Christmas, they do play at Clemson on December 30th. That closes out the new year there. Then they get January 4th. They are home to Duke. Then they're at Virginia Tech. ACC play full mode. And they kind of have after Virginia Tech, home to Miami, at Georgia Tech, at North Carolina, home to Notre Dame. I kind of like right there what I'm seeing is they kind of get so at Clemson, but then you get home to Duke. At Virginia Tech, okay, that's a little tricky back to back. Kivaluma's gone from Virginia Tech though, but I kind of like the gaps between tough opponents. You get Miami, then you get Georgia Tech. You get North Carolina. Actually, that stretch is pretty tough. You get North Carolina, Notre Dame, and Wake, and Florida State, all 4 in a row. I think all 4. Maybe you can make the case that NC State and Wake are on the same level. I think Florida State's got a better roster than NC State. I think Notre Dame's got a better roster than NC State, and I think North Carolina, unfortunately, State fans, has a better roster. Then you get home to Georgia Tech, at Virginia, at Boston College, at Syracuse. 3 away games in a row. That's a little tricky. Come back to take on North Carolina. Yeah, I mean, you're in the ACC. You're not going to be able to avoid, scheduling some tough teams. You're going to have some tricky days back to back, or 2 or 3 games in a row that are complete, tough games. So, what would be the case for Kevin Keatts to get in to stay the head coach of NC State, and also, best case scenario for NC State. I think and I say this for all, I sounded like a little bit of a broken record when previewing these ACC teams. Carolina's the team to beat. After Carolina, I think UVA and Duke are the next in line. After that, I think it's Florida State. After that, I would think Louisville, Notre Dame, and perhaps Wake Forest. And maybe you could throw NC State in there. I think I would put NC State after them though. But if NC State can upset a few, I'm sorry, I forgot about Miami too. So I think I would go after Florida State. I would probably go Notre Dame, then Miami, then Louisville, then Wake, then NC State / Virginia Tech. So my point is like those get like that area right there of the ACC. If they can just, I would say between Florida State, Miami, Notre Dame, Wake Forest, if they can just go like 500 or better playing those teams and then take care of business against the other schools, they can't afford, I think they're better than Syracuse. They should be able to be beating Syracuse. They should be beating Pitt. They're going to be needing for Kevin Keatts to remain head coach of NC State and for them to have any chance at the postseason. Then you got the games against, Boston College, Georgia Tech, Clemson. Those are must-win games. Even the Virginia Tech games. When I think about Virginia Tech and they lose Kiva Luma, I think they're going to be right in the same mix as NC State. So those games are to me must-win for the Wolfpack. Critical games. I can't wait to watch them all. I'm here for it all. It'll be interesting to see if Kevin Keatts can make it through the storm. Excited to watch Wolfpack basketball. Gun to my head. I think they're going to be around 500 in the ACC. So the question then would be, what can they do out of conference? Out of conference, I think they're going to lose to. They can't get upset. If they could beat Kansas, Dayton, or Wisconsin, if they can go 2-3 in that stretch, they might be able to find their way in the NCAA tournament. Other than that, I think they're going to be right around 9-11, 8-12, 11-10. I'm sorry, 10-10, 11-9, something like that in ACC play. But that might make all the difference. Can't wait to watch it. Gun to my head, I think they miss out on the NCAA tournament, and I think Kevin Keatts is no longer the head coach. But I'm actually going to be rooting for me to be wrong there. So let's go Wolfpack. All right. All right, folks. Let's keep rocking. These previews are happening. Go listen to them. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Also remember, subscribe to the College Football Experience. Big games for NC State all season with Devin Leary and company. Subscribe over there and subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. We come together as one. We'll subscribe to the College Baseball Experience too, but we come together as one, as the College Experience on YouTube, youtube.com/the College Experience. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. They're always talking whatever sport. It's all there for you. Check out all the other feeds. MLB Gambling Podcast, as that season continues to heat up into the playoff race. NFL Gambling Podcast, NBA Gambling Podcast, NHL. Shout out to the Hurricane. Check out all that stuff, all those platforms. CFL, if that's your cup of tea, Grey Cup. World Cup's right around the corner. Check out the Soccer Gambling Podcast. That is fantastic. Get the SGPN app for free in the App Store and Google Play Store. Also, folks, if you can go to iTunes and give us a 5-star review, we'd certainly appreciate it. Been a while. Come on, someone get over there, give us a comment. We're going through all these teams, doing the Lord's work. All right, check it out. Yeah. College Basketball Experience on iTunes. We'll take 2 minutes out of your day. Please help us help you. All right. We're also on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. I'm on Twitter at DColbyD. Give us a follow. And every single night of the college basketball season, I will be here breaking down games for you every single night. Did it last year. Going to do it again this year. Let's go. All right, folks, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Hop in the Discord channel and talk college hoops with the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. This is the NC State Wolfpack 2022-23 season preview episode. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
This is Thank you. Well, that's a great way to get started.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're gonna pay for it tonight.
Happy Olympics. Doesn't matter who wins because they're all losers.
I think tide turning, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of turn. It's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words?
When we were winning conference titles and going to the Final Four, we were making a statement.
Damn sick and tired of getting out rebounded. 25 offensive rebounds. First time we blocked out, we get called for a damn block out. We're pushing people. Meanwhile, they're on the other court grabbing rebounds, going over the top and grabbing them. We get one offensive rebound, then we get called for over the back.